Infinity Gauntlet. The Infinity Gauntlet is a massive glove forged from Uru and designed to harness the energy of the Infinity Stones. It was created by the King of the Dwarves after Thanos threatened to harm his people. The gauntlet is incredibly durable, capable of withstanding the force generated by all 6 Infinity Stones attached to it. It enabled Thanos to use each stone with extreme precision and control, both individually and together, granting him the power to warp reality and perform feats on a universal scale. However, only a select few beings possess the strength required to survive its use, as upon wearing it, a surge of energy is released by the stones that courses through the user's body, inflicting intense pain and severe burns. The gauntlet sustained considerable damage after Thanos used it to eliminate half of all life in the universe with a single snap. Despite that, it still remained functional, allowing him to activate it one final time to destroy the stones themselves. Mjolnir, a powerful enchanted war hammer forged by the dwarves for the Asgardian royal family. The hammer is extremely durable, capable of crushing anything that stands in its path. It possesses the ability to return to its wielder when summoned, channel lightning, and even allow its user to fly by spinning at high speeds. It was later enchanted with a spell by Odin, allowing only those deemed worthy to wield its power. Whoever succeeded in lifting it would be granted the power of Thor. Despite it being known as the iconic weapon of Thor, it has been wielded by other Asgardian legends before him, including Odin and Hela. In his first encounter with Hela, Thor proceeded to throw Mjolnir at her. Unfortunately for him, Hela managed to catch Mjolnir and shatter it to pieces. It eventually reassembled itself in order to grant its power to Jane Foster, and later was reclaimed by Thor after Foster's death. Although Mjolnir was used to end the lives of many in the past, now it is more than just a weapon. It serves as a divine symbol of worthiness. Stormbreaker. After being defeated by Thanos, Thor was searching for a weapon strong enough to defeat him, so the King of Dwarves promised him to craft the greatest weapon in Asgardian history, Stormbreaker, an enchanted axe of dwarvian manufacture, forged in the heart of a dying star. Due to it being made of Uru, it is strong enough to go through any armor and is near indestructible, capable of withstanding energy blasts from the Infinity Stones. The weapon is able to focus and enhance Thor's powers, and can summon the Bifrost Bridge, allowing teleportation across the 9 realms. Thor could also summon it back to his hand after throwing it to chop down his enemies, and it allowed him to fly effortlessly while holding it. However, unlike Mjolnir, Stormbreaker is not enchanted to prevent those deemed unworthy from holding it, making anybody strong enough capable of using it. After reclaiming Mjolnir, Thor gave Stormbreaker to his adoptive daughter, Love, allowing her to wield it in combat. Gungnir. Known as the Mighty Spear of Odin, Gungnir is a powerful weapon of war that carries multiple enchantments, giving it mythical abilities such as shooting a highly destructive energy blast. It served as a symbol of Asgardian kingship, as it was meant to be wielded by whoever held the throne. It was wielded by Odin and his father, Bor, who carried it while leading Asgard to victory in their first war against the Dark Elves and their ruler, Malekith. Gungnir can also open and close the Bifrost Bridge without the need for Heimdall's sword, and shares a direct link with the Asgardian weapon known as the Destroyer, allowing whoever wields it to control the Destroyer. However, the legendary spear was destroyed along with Asgard in Ragnarok. Scepter. The scepter was a gift from Thanos, used by Loki to lead and command the Chitauri invasion of Earth. It had a long golden grip and a blue casing that contained the Mind Stone. The casing was surrounded by 2 sharp blades, making the weapon highly effective in close-quarters combat, capable of impaling and slashing enemies with brutal force. Those blades were also extremely durable, made from a material strong enough to withstand strikes from Thor's Mjolnir. The scepter was capable of firing lethal energy blasts and allowing its wielder to communicate through astral projection. Using the Mind Stone's power, the scepter could brainwash minds by simply placing the tip of the blade on the target's heart. After Loki was defeated, the scepter was used by Hydra for many researches and experiments. It was later retrieved by the Avengers, then stolen by Ultron, who managed to crack the blue container open, revealing the Mind Stone in its true form as a yellowish gem. Hofund, known as the Bifrost Sword, was an Asgardian blade wielded by Heimdall. It served as one of the keys to the Bifrost Bridge, which Heimdall used to transport individuals across the 9 realms. Heimdall also used it as his main weapon in combat, swinging it to cut down all of Asgard's enemies. After the destruction of Asgard, the sword lost its main function as a Bifrost key. Nevertheless, Heimdall continued to carry it and use it in battle. Unfortunately, he did not live to fight many more battles. During Thanos' attack on the ship carrying the surviving Asgardians, Heimdall was killed and Hofund was destroyed. Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt is an enchanted lightning bolt that was wielded by Zeus. It has the ability to channel Zeus's immense electrical energy and can be used as both a weapon and a means of transport, as it allows its wielder to fly and teleport. When thrown, it has the ability to pierce nearly anything, even Zeus himself. And just like Mjolnir and Stormbreaker, it can return to its wielder's hand when summoned. The weapon was later stolen by Valkyrie and Thor during their confrontation with Zeus in Omnipotent City. The 10 Rings. The 10 Rings are an ancient set of oversized rings that grant their wielder multiple mystical abilities. They enhance the user's strength, can be launched as projectiles that return when summoned, and fire powerful energy blasts. Additionally to their offensive abilities, they are extremely versatile, allowing aerial mobility by serving as platforms in the air or forming a barrier to protect their wielder. Their exact origins are unknown. Xu Wenwu found them during the Middle Ages. Upon wearing them, they stopped his aging, allowing him to live for thousands of years. With the power of the rings, Wenwu formed an army named after them and conquered numerous kingdoms and overthrew governments throughout history. Before being killed by the Dweller in Darkness, Wenwu passed down the rings to his son, Shang-Chi, who ended up using the rings to unleash a massive energy explosion, finally killing the Dweller in Darkness. Universal Weapon. The Universal Weapon is a Kree war hammer, traditionally carried by members of the Accuser Corps. It was crafted using advanced Kree technology, making it a formidable tool in battle. Ronan the Accuser wielded it as his primary weapon, using it to crush the heads of anyone who opposed him. The hammer could fire concussive blasts, capable of snapping someone's neck in an instant, and even send stronger opponents like Drax flying for several meters through the air. After he retrieved the orb, Ronan forcefully attached the Power Stone to the Universal Weapon, allowing him to use the power of the stone. He used it to destroy the Nova Corps' fleet and was planning to use it to get his revenge on Thanos himself. With the stone attached to it, the weapon had the potential to destroy an entire planet. However, Ronan lost possession of the Power Stone after the Universal Weapon was destroyed during the Battle of Xandar. The Guardians of the Galaxy managed to get hold of the stone and used it to defeat him. The double-edged sword was a massive, double-bladed weapon wielded by Thanos during his time as a warlord, which he used to bring entire planets to their knees. Despite it being primarily a close-range melee weapon, it could be used as a boomerang that returned to Thanos after being thrown, or as a shield that deflected energy beams by spinning the blades at high speeds. Forged from an exceptionally durable material, the sword was strong enough to clash with both Stormbreaker and Mjolnir, and even managed to shatter Captain America's vibranium shield. Thanos brought the double-edged sword with him when he traveled to the main timeline, intending to use it to eliminate the Avengers and obtain the Infinity Stones. However, the weapon was severely damaged during his battle with Wanda Maximoff, who fractured it using her chaos magic and was later destroyed in an explosion of quantum energy. The Necrosword. The Necrosword was an ancient weapon that was forged at the dawn of time. It chose Gorr as its new wielder after the death of its previous master, the so-called Dark Shadow Lord. Gorr used the blade to slay his first god and vowed to get his revenge by killing the rest of the gods across the universe. The sword enhanced the wielder's physical abilities, allowing them to fight on par with gods. It also granted them the ability to teleport through shadows and to summon shadow monsters to serve their will. The weapon had regenerative properties, allowing it to repair itself from any damage as long as it wasn't fully destroyed. However, the sword was considered cursed, as it corrupted its wielder's mind, consuming them with an obsession to annihilate all gods. The corruption also linked the wielder's life force to the sword, meaning that if the weapon was destroyed, the wielder would slowly die as well. This ended up being Gorr's fate after the Necrosword was destroyed by Jane Foster, who used Mjolnir to shatter it into pieces and disintegrate it completely. Destroyer. The Destroyer was an enchanted Asgardian automaton, primarily used to guard Odin's vault. It obeyed the orders of whoever wielded Gungnir, the royal spear of Asgard. Designed solely for combat and destruction, the Destroyer was one of Asgard's most powerful weapons, able to swat away a car with ease and kill frost giants with its brute force alone. It was forged from enhanced materials that made it highly resistant to damage. Even when pierced by an Asgardian blade, it remained fully operational, with Mjolnir being the only weapon that was capable of damaging it. The Destroyer was powered by the Odin Force, which it could unleash as a wide orange beam through its head, capable of vaporizing living beings on impact. However, it was defeated by the God of Thunder after he regained his full powers.